Hello everyone, today I'm going to introduce to you the oil extraction process of our 2 tons of palm fruit per hour. Firstly, we have to carry out sterilization feeding. Check whether the discharge door is closed securely. This is the feed door. Open the feed door. Put down the lower hopper. Unload the palm fruits that we have just beaten back to the palm fruits lifting position. And then load them into the palm fruits lifting machine. Lifting them into the platform of the sterilization. And then load them into the sterilization in order after our manpower until the sterilization is filled up. Remove the lower material shaking. Clean the feed door. Close the feed door. Lock the locking ring and proceed to the next operation. Secondly, the sterilization is to do the heat treatment of palm fruit, and the sterilization is to reduce the regeneration of fatty acids, thereby increasing the oil yield of crude oil. Check in advance whether the exhaust valve is closed. Close the sterilization tank drain valve. Open our steam valve. Drain the water inside the pipeline. The sub-cylinder pressure reaches 0 for kilograms. Open the sterilization tank main valve. Open the sterilization tank inlet valve. In the open process, to be slowly open, the water inside the pipe all discharged. After all the water is discharged, open all the valves. open the air inlet valve and observe the pressure gauge of the sterilization until it reaches 0.3 MPa. Our sterilization process, it takes 1 hour. Now for the first time to enter the gas, in the vapor pressure reaches 0.3 MPa, we start to count the time, after 10 minutes to drain the water. The pressure gauge of the sterilization reaches 0.3 MPa, hold it for 10 minutes, we carry out the first drainage. Slowly open the drain valve. Until the sewage is drained. The first drainage is completed, we carry out the second replenishment, open the inlet valve. Observe the pressure gauge of the sterilization, rise to 0.3 MPa, keep the pressure for 20 minutes, when the pressure reaches 0.3 MPa, close the valve of the air inlet. Keep the pressure for 20 minutes. After that we carry out the second drainage, open the drain valve until the vapor is discharged. Close the valve and our second drain is complete. For the third replenishment, open the air inlet valve. Wait for the sterilization pressure gauge to reach 0.3 MPa. Close the air inlet valve. We carry out the third drainage. Open the exhaust valve. Wait for the sterilization pressure gauge pressure to 0. After that, we open the discharge valve of the discharge door. Until there is no vapor discharge, pay attention to be sure to discharge. Before you can open the discharge valve, open the discharge valve. The process of our brake leavening is completed, and we can open the discharge valve. We can open the discharge valve. Our staff will take out the fruits from the sterilization. Now we carry out threshing, digesting, oil press. Firstly, open the hydraulic station of the oil press. Open the digesting tank. Open the fruit lifting conveyor. Open the thresher. The sterilized fruits are put into thresher, through the rotation and wrestling, to realize the separation of fruits and bunches, and the fruits and bunches, which have been separated, come out from the discharge port. And then loaded into trucks manually, and pulled to other workshops for processing. The fruits in the thresher enter into the recycling screw conveyor, enter into the transfer to the digesting tank, and carry out a digesting process. In the process of feeding, the water in the tank is heated in advance. Open the heating valve. Heat the hot water to 85 degrees. The fruit into the 2/3 of the position of the sterilization tank. We turn on the direct steam, digesting to the separation of the canal. Open the hot water valve. Observe the exit of the oil press fiber situation, to see whether the oil content is too much. With a hard hand to grab, look at the oil content, to meet the standard. The pressed oil flows to the oil tank through pipe. When the oil tank is full, open the crude oil pump. through the crude oil pump transfer to the clarification tank. After the clarification tank is heated and settled, the oil skimmer separates the clear oil from the water, and through the oil distributor, the clear oil is transferred to the clear oil storage tank. In the process of skimming oil, we slowly open the direct steam valve of number 1 tank, and when the temperature gauge reaches 90, we open the valve of number 2 tank, and then the indirect steam valve, and the temperature reaches 95. In our production process, not only water and oil and impurities sediment, we have to drain the sewage at intervals to drain the mud and dirt deposited underneath. Discharge time cannot be too long, the mud and dirt discharged until clean. In order to prevent clogging, skimming the bottom valve of the oil tank is also the same operation. Oil and water and impurities of the oil tank will be discharged to the final dirty oil tank. Dirty oil tank further heating. Separate the oil and water once again. We add water to the dirty oil tank. The oil will slowly come up, and then after our oil distribution tank separated out, and then through the oil pump to the crude oil tank. Crude oil pump will pump oil to the oil tank. Skimming oil is completed. Open the bottom valve. The water and sludge will be discharged to the outside of the gutter with a pipe. The tank can be customized according to customer's requirement. Palm oil is very viscous. When it is cooled in the crude oil tank, it needs to be heated. Huatai crude oil tank is equipped with heating coils and self-control regulating valves, which can adjust the temperature automatically. Huatai's crude oil transfer pump and pipeline are equipped with copper pipe heat tracing to prevent the oil from condensation. The crude oil transfer pump can be pumped to the refining workshop, the fractionation workshop, and can also be directly pumped to the tanker trucks for the direct sale of crude oil.